All right, welcome back, and now we're going to do an example and where we're going to evaluate each of these inverse functions and to get the exact answer for each of these if possible. So again, for arc cosine, we're doing the arc cosine of square root of 2 over 2. Again, notice this is very familiar, so this corresponds to a 45, 45, 90 triangle. Okay, again, remember cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And again, think of this as an angle, right? So we're looking for an angle, right, when we evaluate this. So ask ourselves, the cosine of what angle will give us square root of 2 over 2? And it's also positive. So that means it's going to be what? It's going to be, the range of this is going to be between 0 and pi. So that means we're in the first or second quadrant, okay? So it's a 45-degree angle. So in this case here, it's just going to be pi over 4, okay? Okay, now what about inverse cosine of -1? Okay, so again, we go from -1 to 1, right? And the range goes from 0 to pi. So -1. So we're asking ourselves, okay, the cosine of what angle gives us -1? Again, cosine is negative in the second quadrant, so that's where we're going to be at. We're in the second quadrant, and we want 1. Okay, so the cosine of what angle will give us 1? And the only way to get 1, think about this, so let's draw our triangle here, right? So here's theta, we're in the second quadrant, and we're doing cosine, which is adjacent, right, over hypotenuse. So the only way that we're going to get 1 is if these two are the same, and the only way that x is going to equal h is if what? Theta is, well, 0 in this case, or theta prime is what? Pi. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be pi. So the inverse cosine of -1 is equal to pi. Okay. Now, what about the next one? Okay, so arctan, right? So we're saying, okay, the tangent of what angle is 0? Okay. Well, for C and D, the domain is all real numbers, so we don't have to worry about anything with the domain. Okay. Now, we know that the tangent of 0 is 0, and 0 does lie in the interval negative pi over 2 over, to pi over 2. So the tangent of what angle equals 0? Well, it's going to be 0. Now the last one, pi over -1, tangent inverse of -1, right? Let me make sure I wrote this down right. Where is it at? Yeah, inverse tangent of -1. Okay. Now also remember tangent of is what? Is opposite over adjacent. And so again, oh, this is -1. So the tangent of what angle equals -1? So first of all, tangent is going to be negative in, well, we're going from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. Okay, so we're talking about the first and fourth quadrant. So tangent is going to be negative in the fourth quadrant. Okay, and we also know that it has to be, if we're looking at triangles, okay, oops. Okay, so we're in the fourth quadrant. Okay, and we're looking at opposite over adjacent. Right? So again, the only way we're going to get 1 is if these two legs are the same, which only happens if it's a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So this is going to be what? It's going to be negative pi over 4. Okay, and those are the answers. All right, have a great day.